Hello, today I wanna talk about my new perspective. So my perspective, I happen to get a new perspective, and it's about being lucky. So to introduce myself, I am South Korean, and I am currently living in Australia, Sydney. And before I came to here, I thought that I was very unlucky. While I was living in Seoul, I thought that I was very unlucky, and the country, South Korea, is so unlucky place to live in. However, nowadays I think that I mean not everyone, but most of the people who was born in countries such as Korea, Japan, USA, Germany, or any nation that has higher GDP and higher living standard compared to other nations are lucky people. So there are many obstacles for them who didn't have this luxury in their life to achieve something. So before I moved to Australia, I thought that the life is completely dependent on someone's hard working and someone's determination. So the reason why some people are poor and not be successful is because they were not doing their best. And I had this mindset even after I came to Australia, and but recently, and I started thinking in a different way. And I view myself as a very lucky person because I was lucky enough to be born in South Korea, and when I wished to come to overseas, when I wished to go to when I wished to go to a graduate school in Australia, I was lucky enough to be working in a nation that has a good economic system, so that I was able to save up enough money for my degree. And for many people around the world, this is not possible. So even though they do their best, some people in the world cannot save up more than $500 yearly. But as I was just purely lucky, and I was lucky to be born in South Korea and got the education from that country, I was just simply lucky enough to save up. And also, the Korean education system is one of the best. But when I was living there, I didn't think it in that way. Of course, that is very tough, and it drive many students especially go crazy because of the social pressure that we give to young people to go to a good university. Because of that, high school students put a lot of time only for studying, not for and they do not have any spare time to do exercise or something like this. That is sad fact. However, as I just went through that education system, I was just purely lucky to have a chance to learn English, so that when I moved to Australia with enough money that I saved up from my previous job, I was able to land in a job quite easily compared to other people who also came from non-English speaking countries. So because of these two things, I think that I am quite lucky person, and everyone who were just simply born in a wealthy nation is lucky one compared to others. So recently, hundred thousands of illegal migrants crossed the border of Spain, and I when I saw this incident, I just think that is so pity. They are just so pity. I'm not saying that they should be exempted from getting any punishment, and I'm not saying that they did good thing, but I think that because I was just lucky enough to have every resources, so that I was able to come to other countries, by just going through the legal process, I paid the tuition and I got the visa. And but for many people around the world, even though they wish to follow my footsteps, their economic situation doesn't allow them to save more than $100 in a month, even though they just do whatever they can, even though they just do their best that they can do. So I think everyone would wish to be born in a wealthy nation. No one wanna live in a poverty. That is true. But we are just simply luckier than others, so that we were born in wealthy nations, and that make a huge difference in our whole life. That's what I think. So while I'm living in Australia, at first I thought that some people from like third nations. I also met few illegal migrants who are working illegally in Australia too, and I just thought that they are loser and they should get. They should get. I sometimes I wish them to be caught, and I'm not saying that. Uh, I'm not supporting the illegal migrant community, but I think it's kind of human instinct to move to a better place. So human beings for many years like have been moving to a new place to find a better life. The first mankind from Africa moved all the way to the American continent just to find a better life, to find more food, to find more resource so that they can survive efficiently. And I think that the same thing is happening in right now, and some lucky people like me can go through the legal process, and on the other hand, some unlucky people just can't afford their basic necessity, got no choice but to choose the illegal path. And I am not, once again, I'm not supporting the illegal process, but I think it's just a sad reality. So people who are born in the UK, USA, or Australia can't understand how hard it is to learn English as a second language, because they are simply born with it. And but as a person who spent a lot of time to learn English, it was very hard process, and if I could just skip that process, it would be great. So I'm just saying that many people like me and anyone who are living in those wealthy nations are very lucky one. So it doesn't make sense to blame the country or the system that your government has if you are living in a wealthy nation. So there are just so many people who can't find the food for the dinner and who cannot dream of going overseas trips in their whole life. So when I was a little bit younger than now, I thought that everyone's destiny can be determined by someone's hard working. But however, nowadays I believe that our life is kind of predestined. And if you were born in a very poor country and born in very poor community and cannot afford to have a roof over your head, cannot afford to have just a simple dinner, how can you build up a long-term plan for your life? So I have dreamed of coming to Australia for many years, and now I am. And also for next few years, I also set my own goals, and I think just having this also I think just as I am able to plan my future and I'm able to save up for my future, and this just simple thing that many people like you can enjoy is a very luxurious thing for many people around the world. So so after I got a new perspective, I started to be grateful for my daily life. And that's all. Thank you for listening.